Okay, now we are going to reconstruct the inventory and accounts payable account just to find out how much of cash we have paid to our suppliers of inventory. So if you still remember, okay, under payments to suppliers and employees under operating activities, okay, there are three items. One is payments to suppliers of inventory, number two is payments to suppliers of service, and number three, payments to employees. So we're actually looking at this part over here, payments to suppliers of inventory. So we want to check how much of cash we have paid to our suppliers of inventory. Okay, so we have our inventory account over here, which we need to reconstruct first. Okay, first of all, we need to reconstruct the inventory account first, then only we reconstruct the accounts payable account. Okay, so under inventory account, you have balance BD and balance CD. So the first thing that you need to do is to put in your opening and closing balance. So your opening balance is, hold on now, opening balance is 28,000 and your closing balance is 31,000. So this is the first step. Okay, so cost of sales over here, okay, cost of sales over here will reduce the amount of inventory that we hold. Okay, so cost of sales will reduce the amount of inventory here. So under your credit side, under inventory, okay, key in your cost of sales, which is 140,000. Okay, and discount received here does not affect your inventory because discount received will affect your accounts payable. Okay, discount received won't affect your inventory. Okay, so once we have finished doing this, okay, we have to look at the additional information as well. In your additional information, okay, it mentions that purchase return for the year ended 30th June 2020 is $800. So there is a purchase return. So I need to record my purchase return on the credit side of the inventory account because purchase return will reduce my inventory. Okay, when I return my inventory back to my supplier, okay, my inventory become lesser. So purchase return have to be on the credit side of inventory. Okay, so we double check whether there is any information that we have left out. Okay, since there is no information that we have left out, we should balance this account already. Okay, so I add up everything on the credit side, and then I would have 171,800. So on the debit side, the total should be 171,800 as well. And the balance between these two, okay, and the balance between these two figures over here is 143,800. Okay, so this 143,800 means that I have bought more inventories on credit. How do I know that I bought all these inventories on credit? Because I have this account, accounts payable. I have this accounts payable in my hand, means that I still owe people money for the inventories that I bought. Okay. So since my inventory increased by 143,800, my accounts payable also increased by 143,800 because I have bought inventory on credit, 143,800. So under my accounts receivable, okay, I should put it on the credit side. Why credit side? Because if a liability increase, I should put it at the credit side. And not to forget, okay, you need to put in your accounts payable, balance BD and balance CD as well. So opening balance, you have 11,000, and don't forget your closing balance, 15,000. Okay, put in your opening balance and closing balance. Put in the amount of accounts payable increase, which is 143,800. Okay, and then we look for things that would affect our accounts payable account. Okay, for example, discount received. As I mentioned just now, discount received is nothing to do with inventory, but there is something to do with accounts payable. Because when I receive discount, I owe people lesser. When I owe people lesser, I should debit accounts payable, 2,000. Okay, and the credit side will be at the discount received. Okay, okay. Now we will look at our purchase return, because just now when we record our purchase return, we credit inventory because when I return back my inventory to the suppliers, okay, my inventory become lesser. At the same time, I owe them lesser as well. So I need to debit accounts payable 800. Because when I return back the inventory to my suppliers, I owe them lesser. If I owe them lesser, I need to debit accounts payable because my accounts payable become lesser now. Okay, so once we are done, we should wrap everything up. Okay, so if you look at your credit side, there is a balance of, how much is this? There is a balance of 154,800. So on your debit side, it's supposed to be 154,800 as well. Okay, for the total over here. So you need to find out how much is the balance. Okay, how much is the remaining balance after deducting all these figures over here. So 154,800 minus 800 minus 2,000 minus 15,000, you will get 137,000. And this 137,000 is from cash at bank. Okay, because when I pay my creditors, I credit cash at bank, debit accounts payable. So the debit side will be in the accounts payable account. Okay, credit cash at bank, debit accounts payable. So this is the amount of money that I have paid to my suppliers. Okay, so in your statement of cash flow, you need to write this down as well. So at first you have cash flow from operating activities. Okay, this is a payment to your inventory supplier. So it's under payment to suppliers and employees. Okay, under payments to suppliers and employees, you would have a negative 137,000 over here. Okay, don't forget about this negative sign. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, because payments to suppliers and employees is a cash outflow. So if this is a cash outflow, you need to put a negative. Okay, because cash outflow, your cash reduced, so you need to put a negative sign over there.